How close can virtual reality come to reality? To answer that question, we stuck some cameras in a car and popped to the Donington GP racetrack in the United Kingdom, both in reality and in virtual reality, using iRacing and the Oculus Rift DK2. One thing that's quite startling is how close simulators have got to reality in terms of visual fidelity. You'll notice that these tracks line up pretty much one-to-one. This is because many of the modern simulators use a technique called laser scanning, where the developers go out and capture highly accurate point cloud data, allowing the artist to then precisely place game geometry one-to-one, centimetre accurate with the real-world location. Now that sounds fancy and over the top, but crucially this has the effect of causing your brain to go into complete meltdown when you actually go to the real world location that you haven't been to before, but you're sure you have, because you have, but you didn't really. Thanks to the fantastic 3D on the virtual reality headset, you get a really good sense of the craner curves and how much they actually dip down. Approaching the old hairpin in the real car, you feel it in the bottom of your stomach as you go from going down to suddenly going up. In the simulator, you just feel a little bit of force feedback change. Of course, if you were a millionaire, you could rectify this with a giant motion platform, but for us peasants, this is one aspect of real-world driving that we'll have to keep to our imagination. Coming up to Starkey's Bridge, we're reminded again that the virtual track is pretty much spot on with the real one. That is aside from the advertising board that's cheekily been removed in real life. Chugging up the hill and the engine noise of the real car reminds you that you're putting wear on the machinery. Wear that's going to cost money over time. In the simulator, the only wear you'll experience is your partner reminding you that you haven't folded the laundry properly and you're in trouble for the 10th time this week. As we approach Coppice, again virtual reality does a fantastic job of capturing this bump that's very prominent in real life and also prominent in VR. Other aspects of VR that are hard to convey in the form of video is the real sense of feeling as if you're inside of the vehicle. In both virtual reality and reality, you feel as if you're sat inside of something. Granted, the VR version is a lot more serene and calm, but it does get that general feel across, which I'm sure will improve even more as headsets advance in resolution, frames per second and field of view. So to answer the question, how close does virtual reality come to reality? I'd say pretty close. Mind you, unless you're prepared to reenact that scene from the film Misery, VR's always going to feel somewhat safe and lacking of consequence. Which, when you come to think of it, might not actually be that much of a bad thing. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to click the subscribe button and like it straight away. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.